Hey everyone, Colin here with the Bible Uncut and Unfiltered. I wanted to take a minute today to talk to you about spiritual abuse awareness, because January is Spiritual Abuse Awareness Month, and a lot of people are not aware that spiritual abuse exists. So we want to take a little bit of time this month with the podcast to be able to draw attention to this issue and hopefully help to educate people on what spiritual abuse is. First, we have to understand what abuse is in the first place. Abuse takes place when you have somebody in a position of real or perceived power, control, or authority over another person, and they use that power, control, or authority to benefit themselves at the expense of the other person. Now, it's important to realize that I say this can be real or perceived, because in a way, spiritual authority really only comes from God. We tend to give it to people and sometimes even think that people have more control over our lives than they actually do. So this does not have to just be a pastor, priest, or minister. This can be anyone who has any kind of perceived spiritual authority over another person. It could be a deacon, it could be a Sunday school teacher, it could be a college professor at a Christian college, it could be a parent, it could be a spouse. So there are all different sorts of scenarios where this can take place. It does not have to even be in a Christian household. Anywhere where there is some sort of religious or spiritual authority given to another person, there is the potential for that person to use that spiritual authority for their own benefit at the expense of another. Now, in many forms of abuse, particularly physical, all that is needed is one instance to prove that abuse has happened. Say there's an instance where a husband hits their spouse. That is all that is needed for a domestic violence or physical abuse case. However, in matters of emotional or spiritual abuse, one time is not enough to prove a problem. The key to spiritual abuse is understanding that there is a pattern. Any one of us does things from time to time that can be emotionally or spiritually abusive to another person, depending on the relationship. But that does not deny the fact that there are times actual spiritual abuse occurs. And you can tell that by determining if there is a pattern of somebody harming another person by misusing their own spiritual authority. Again, this does not have to be a pastor or someone in church leadership. It can happen with a parent, it can happen with a spouse, a Sunday school teacher, anything like that. So next week we are going to talk a little bit more about what exactly this can look like, give some examples of spiritual abuse, and then the week after that we'll talk some about how to respond to it and how to heal from it.